Sleeping is something we all spend roughly a third of our lives doing. That means something like 300 months worth of time is spent asleep. And even though we spend so much time sleeping, a lot of us don't know very much about it. Let's remedy that. We all have our methods for falling asleep. And for some, sinking into that sweet sensation comes easier than for others. The amount of time it takes you to fall asleep is very important. You can either be too fast or too slow. It's normal to take 10 to 20 minutes to fall asleep once you climb into bed. This is called the period of sleep latency. If it takes you less than 5 minutes to fall asleep at night, you're not sleeping enough. Sleep deprived. But if it's taking you longer than, say, an hour, it probably means you're sleeping too much. If you're one of those people that can't stop slamming the snooze button in the morning, then you'll be amazed to hear this next piece of information. Each species require different amounts of sleep. Humans require 8 hours of sleep per 24-hour cycle. And there are some species of animals that require way more sleep than us. A koala bear sleeps roughly 18 hours a day. Little brown bats, and yes, that's their real name, are the king of napping, sleeping for almost 20 hours per day, only staying awake a few hours a day to eat and mate. On the inverse side of things, a giraffe needs only 2 hours of sleep per 24-hour period. There are 5 stages of sleep, the 5th being the necessary REM phase. Interestingly, we don't always progress through them in order. Generally, you'll fall asleep and progress stage 1 through stage 5 in numerical order. But once we've already gone through the stages, we start to jump back and forth between them randomly, not needing to start back at 1 every time. Do you ever wonder how long could you go without sleep? Well, Randy Gartner did a pretty good job of helping to figure that out. He's the record holder for the longest period of time without sleep at an astonishing 264.4 hours, or 11 days and 24 minutes. Gardner was a high school student when he achieved the record without the aid of any stimulants. On the 11th day, when he was asked to subtract by 7s going down from 100, he stopped at 65. When asked why he had stopped, he replied that he'd forgotten what he was doing, helping to prove just how detrimental sleep deprivation can be. Researchers have proven that sleep deprivation can affect motor skills for tasks like driving a car just as negatively as alcohol. Also, sleep deprivation can greatly hinder our ability to develop new memories. So those all-nighters you pull for the big exams may not be very effective for real learning. We all have a rhythm, or a body clock. And if you pull too many all-nighters, that clock can get knocked out of whack. But British researchers have developed a pair of glasses that can essentially reset a person's body clock. They project a ring of bright light into a person's eyes that mimics the sunrise. The spectacles have been used with soldiers and can allow someone to go without sleep for as long as 36 hours without experiencing many, if any, functional deficits. Although scientists used to believe that we only dreamt while in REM, the 5th stage of sleep, new research indicates that we may actually be dreaming the entire time we're asleep. The types of dreams you experience in each stage can just have distinct differences. Dream studies have testers claiming to have dreams that are just less intense during non-REM periods of sleep. Big news! Elephants fall asleep standing up. Of course, no one would be foolish enough to actually try and go elephant tipping. Elephants do fall asleep standing up, but they do the tipping themselves. Well, sorta. As elephants get into the REM cycles of sleep, they begin to lay down. Okay, parents, this next fact is for you. Children that go to bed earlier tend to fall asleep faster and sleep longer. The sweet spot for getting a kid to bed is before 9 p.m. Sure, this is most likely easier said than done, but there are many studies out there that say the better sleep habits at a young age, the better they tend to be as children move into their teen years. As crazy as it sounds, not everyone dreams in color. About 12% of people dream in only black and white. A much larger percentage of the population used to dream in only black and white, but after the creation of color television, the number of people who dream in color has shot up dramatically. A majority of people dream in light pastel colors. The temperature of where you are sleeping is very important. You may find it very difficult to fall asleep if the temperature of your room is too high. In order to fall asleep, our body temperature has to decrease slightly, and if the room is too warm, it can keep this from happening and keep us from sleeping. Most researchers recommend keeping a room at around 60 to 67 degrees when going to sleep. It's also recommended that we sleep with layers of blankets, so we can slowly peel them off if we're too warm. While most animals are resting peacefully at night, dolphins are only able to rest half as much. Only half of a dolphin's brain shuts down while sleeping. With one half of their brain asleep, the other half is keeping tabs on their breathing cycle. Scientists have learned that it's possible for a dolphin to stay alert and active for more than 15 days while only using half of their brain. This ability to shut off half the brain while the other remains active is considered essential in dolphin survival. Sleep is so much more than just a time for you and your significant other to cuddle. It's also a time to do battle with disease. Scientists have stated that a proper amount of restful sleep, roughly 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep, gives your immune system time to store memories of infection, so your body can build up defenses to fight the same illness in the future. Hey, you managed to stay awake through the whole list. Like and subscribe to Pop Cult Cola for more fun facts.